Adele is known around the world for her powerhouse vocals and her heartfelt ballads, but she had something else on her mind recently: home improvement. After years of relying on professionals to handle all the handiwork, Adele finally decided to try her hand at DIY. The star was tired of living with unfinished projects and decided to roll up her sleeves to take on some home repairs herself. What happened next? Well, let's just say it didn't go quite as planned. It all started innocently enough. Adele, in a rare moment of downtime, decided it was time to hang a picture she had bought months ago. Surely, she thought, this would be an easy task. She had seen it done a million times before. All I need is a hammer and a couple of nails, she said to herself. Confidence was high. Armed with a hammer, Adele approached the wall. She measured twice, maybe three times, and carefully tapped in the first nail. She stepped back to admire her work. The nail was crooked, but no big deal. I'll fix it, she thought. She tried again. This time, she swung a little harder, but instead of the nail going straight in, it bent and flew out of her hand like a rogue missile. Adele stopped, stared at the nail on the floor, and let out an exasperated laugh. What is this? A nail rebellion, she said. With no sign of giving up, she tried once more, only for the third nail to miss the mark entirely, embedding itself into the wall at an awkward angle. By now, Adele's patience was wearing thin, but her sense of humor was only growing stronger. Okay, I think we've learned our lesson, she said. The hammer's out to get me, she laughed, wiping a bit of sweat from her brow. She posted a short video of her struggle with a hilarious caption: DIY disaster, help needed immediately. But Adele wasn't one to back down. She set her sights on the next task: fixing a light fixture in the living room. Surely that would be an easier job, right? She grabbed the stepladder, climbed up, and reached for the light. This time, though, things went from bad to worse. As she twisted the light bulb holder to adjust it, the entire fixture came loose. It fell straight down and smashed onto the floor in a burst of glass. Adele, who had been so proud of herself moments ago, now stood frozen in disbelief. The light had shattered, and she could feel her DIY dreams shattering along with it. Maybe you'll leave lighting to the professionals, she admitted, holding up the broken glass with exaggerated care, as if handling some priceless treasure. Honestly, this house is starting to look like it's been through a war zone. Not one to be easily defeated, Adele decided to give her shelving project a shot. She had purchased some beautiful wooden shelves weeks ago, intending to finally get them up on the wall. She tried again with the hammer. This time, her nail-driving technique slightly improved. She was feeling optimistic. But just as she was about to take a step back and admire her work, one of the shelves gave way. It was slightly crooked. Okay, it was very crooked. The shelf leaned awkwardly to the side, almost like it was purposely trying to make a statement. Is this abstract art? Adele quipped, inspecting her handiwork with a wry grin. Definitely a different take on the minimalist style, she said, trying to make the best of the situation. By this point, her house looked less like a home improvement project and more like a set for a slapstick comedy film. Adele, of course, didn't see it as a failure. Instead, she embraced the mess. With each mistake, she laughed harder, showing her fans that even a global superstar like herself could have a rough time with DIY. She posted video updates to her Instagram, showing each of her hilarious mishaps, making sure to tag her own humorous commentary. Watch me completely mess this up, she captioned one video where she tried to hammer in yet another nail, which promptly flew out of her hand and onto the floor. In another post, she joked, I think I've learned more about home improvement today than I ever needed to know. Let's just say, I'm not an expert. But what truly made the whole experience so endearing was how down to earth Adele remained throughout. She wasn't trying to put on an act or show off. She was simply being herself, flawed, relatable, and incredibly funny. Even her failures became something to celebrate. She wasn't afraid to laugh at herself and share that with the world. Fans flocked to her social media to support her, leaving comments like, "Adele, you're making me feel so much better about my own failed attempts at DIY. And you're a queen for sharing your struggles with us." It was clear that the singer had won over even more fans by simply being real, letting people see that she too had moments of frustration and failure, just like everyone else. In the end, Adele's house might not have ended up looking like the Pinterest-worthy space she had envisioned, but she had accomplished something far more important. She showed her followers that it's okay to fail, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to laugh along the way. Maybe the walls weren't perfectly straight or the shelves securely fastened, but Adele's authenticity was something that no DIY project could ever replicate. As for Adele, she decided to leave the real work to the professionals after all. But she would always have the memories of her DIY fiasco and the laughs she shared with her fans. And who knows, maybe next time she'll give home improvement another shot after a few lessons from an expert, of course.